And we're live.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Fight Like Hell podcast, episode 39. Today is November 7th. It's a Monday, right?
It's a Sunday.
It's a
It's a
Sunday.
Sunday.
Shit, he's already fucking it up.
Today is Sunday,
This is
Rob. What are you
hard
talking
without my
about?
show notes in front of me. Welcome, everyone. We have a very in-person special guest that I would love to introduce. Sam. How are you, Sam?
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yes.
You're actually live in
Person.
in person in the SOS studio.
Yeah,
Pretty cool. And
it
you
is.
have the attack Vishla on top of
I
you.
do.
I don't know if she's in frame, but if you see Sam like reaching down, it's because she's petting Allie. So I
She's
guess
petting
we'll
a
get into
dog.
this, Austin. You're
It may or may
you're
not
you're
be
the
a dog.
heterosexual life mate that's hosting, so
Oh, am
lay it
I?
on us.
Okay. Well, I mean, so I guess the first thing we're just going to cover is Sam. Um, uh, for the people that didn't see our original episode with you, Sam, let's just do a short summary of who you are and where you're from.
So I'm from Niagara, Ontario. I just moved there 3 months ago. And I'm pretty much just an ex-college athlete that's living the dream on Instagram.
She's playing it down a little. She's pretty cool. Both of us, Austin and I, know Sam through Instagram. She's been a brand representative for both of us for a while now, and then she's also an admin on SOS and helps out with a lot of the content that we put out there. She doesn't get our shit for free for all those that keep hitting us up thinking that she gets our stuff for free. She actually buys stuff from us
And say I
and
think
usually doesn't even use a.
yeah, and
Go
say
ahead.
she spent more money with us than I think most of our customers have.
Yeah, individually, yeah.
And
Like,
Austin still forgets to send me stuff.
ooh.
You've gotten all your stuff. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I had to ask for one because I forgot to send it.
That's okay.
Keeps them honest. He's trying to hide shit from
Yeah,
you.
he's trying to hide shit.
Usually, I mean, she's Canadian. I was
But
like, I don't want to send it to her.
Oh.
currently, since the last time Sam was on, she switched professions into a position that's actually more along the line of what you went to school for and or you're currently studying for. Would you like to expand on that, like what you're currently doing?
So currently, I am a assistant GM, a trainer, social media director, goalie coach, and I kind of just like for a junior A team in Niagara.
She's an
That's
assistant to the
hockey.
regional
That's
manager.
hockey. Assistant general manager,
Yep.
So
and a bunch of other things.
Yeah. And
But
a full-time Instagrammer
yep, and
and
full time in school right now.
yep. But I think the cool thing about it is something we were talking about on the drive, because we've had a lot of time to bullshit on driving. We've driven everywhere. Is the fact that you're actually now in a career field that is more applicable to like what you're going to school for.
Yes,
Correct?
correct.
Yeah. And like let's tell them about you wanting to come out here and how random it was. Like it had been discussed for a couple
Yeah,
months. Couple months because we knew
yeah.
that I was moving out here. You were one of the first people that actually, you and Austin were probably the two first people that knew about my job in Arizona. And you're like, I got to come out and see you. And we had talked about it, and then we kind of put it off. And then I think it was about maybe 10 days ago,
Yeah, probably something like that.
you hit me up and you're like, I want to come. And then she sends me the dates. And when were those dates?
Those dates were this past Thursday to this Monday.
She gave me about 8, maybe
Not
7
even
days,
like 6 days.
6 days notice. She's like, I'm coming here because the reason why you can't
The
is,
reason why I can't is my job's pretty much 24/7, Monday through Sunday,
and your season's going to be going for how long?
possibly until June, July.
Yeah. And since we're on the subject about the team, I know there's a couple people you probably want to shout out.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my Swedes back home that allowed me to do this vacation, and hopefully the house is not burned down yet.
yeah,
That's my only worry.
Although, should we bring up what they did at Hooters the other night?
Oh, no. Yes, the Swedes would like to. I'd like to bring up the fact that they spent $541 at Hooters
Jesus.
And then another like $300 on top of that.
Got drunk.
Got drunk.
Got in a fight.
Yeah, sent me a video that they were gonna get into a fight. I don't actually know if they got into said fight. Hopefully not.
Yep.
But yeah, I go on vacation and I'm still making sure they're okay.
Jeez.
All right. What else you got? I think that's like a decent introduction to like what you're dealing with currently. What do we got next on the show notes, bro?
I mean, weekend adventures. So what since your guys's was 100% more eventful than mine, what did you guys do? Starting with when you picked her up
you
on
want me
Thursday.
to explain it and you can just like add in tidbits?
Yeah.
Okay, so Arizona and Utah is pretty much the areas that we've covered in the last like 3 or 4 days of traveling. Sam landed in Phoenix. Had to go pick her up down there, which is like 4 hours away from where I live in the Grand Canyon.
And how'd you do with traffic, Rob?
It was not fun.
I watched him get honked at by a bus.
This is true.
Oh, no,
As a matter of fact, I was passing you. And you're like, did you just get honked at by a bus? So, yeah, it was picking up Sam was kind of a nightmare. It wasn't like the end of the world, but at the same time, like it was kind of funny because a lot of Arizona is open driving and open roads and pretty cool, as you've seen.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful out here. But you get to like the major cities like Phoenix or Flagstaff, definitely Phoenix over. I think at one point I only had to go 5 miles and it took me like 30 minutes or something like that. Yeah. All the traffic and shit. But so, so what we did from there, originally, can I just talk about like the whole like COVID shot thing?
Yeah.
All right. So to get Sam out here because she's Canadian, Canada's got a bunch of rules that we may or may not frown upon. But one of them was she had to be vaccinated, which she was.
Yep.
You had to do.
I had to get a COVID test to leave Canada, but I was able to do just a rapid, like, quick
PCR.
15-minute test to get into the States.
The USA. And then what happened while I was in the process of planning our trip and our route? You hit me up.
While I was in the process of planning our trip, I had to inform him that I needed to get a actual PCR test done 72 hours prior to me leaving to go back to Canada.
Yeah.
Which then changed the plans.
Yeah, because the problem is a lot of places on the weekends don't do testing, which was one of our big issues that we ran into. And we had to change around the route because originally she was going to get here, come to the park. We were going to go north, explore all of Utah, do a couple of national parks and stuff up north, and then work our way back down south. And on Monday in Flagstaff, do your COVID test, and then get you to the Allie is active right now. And get you to the airport and all that good stuff. And then that kind of got thrown in the blender because we found out that we actually had. Allie's been sleeping for the past 4 hours. I might have to swap her out with something different. Yeah, because this is not going to work. Give me a sec, everyone. So anyways, I'll continue talking about what we did since I actually have the microphone. So we went to the Grand Canyon and I showed her around like the place that I live and where I work. And then from there, we went further north and we ended up going to, give me one more sec. We ended up going to like Horseshoe Bend, which, hang on, I want to get back to Sam so she can actually elaborate on that.
Yeah, Rob.
I'm walking back. Horseshoe Bend, one of the coolest places.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and we got some incredible photos there. We checked out Horseshoe Bend for a little bit, which is pretty famous on Instagram. Austin, I don't know while we're talking if you want to bring up Horseshoe Bend or any.
We brought it up
like
last
maybe
time.
Sam's page. Huh?
We brought it up last time.
Motherfuckers, these are new people watching. Sorry, moms. Sorry, Sam's mom.
I'm pretty sure they're not, but okay.
I can guarantee you there's at least a couple new people. Yeah, there's new people definitely watching this episode because Sam has become friends with more people in the social media realm and in the
Yeah.
hockey world.
Especially in the social
So
media
stop
realm.
being lazy host and bring it up.
Look who's talking.
I mean, I'm here doing my job. I was ready on time for once.
Oh,
I was sitting there waiting on a link.
Me too.
Yep. Weren't we waiting?
We were waiting
Patiently.
for
patiently.
once.
Yeah.
Always.
Always.
I'm always
Like
waiting on
Sam
Rob.
on
I
the
know
podcast.
you're
This is
talking.
like a reverse one because the last one, all they did was gang up on me and talk shit the entire like podcast. So this is going a lot
That was the
smoother.
best.
It's
That was
like
the
we
best
waited on
podcast.
Austin to call us back today, and he never called us back.
Yep.
Nope. I was like, fuck those people.
Yep. He's just mad he's not here.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll be there. I mean, I'll be there.
Here.
I'll be there eventually. It's okay.
One day.
I'll probably get here twice before he gets here.
I mean,
I agree.
I mean, technically, I saw Rob. I met Rob before you. Technically.
Yeah, but not in Arizona.
So, well,
That's true.
Montana was still just as good.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Lay down. Are you gonna load the picture?
I'm getting one, motherfucker. Right
Christmas is gonna be here before you do,
now. I mean, that's okay.
or my birthday.
So, what ended up happening was we went to Horseshoe Bend. We checked it out there. Austin's eventually going to load a picture so people can actually
Nope.
see what it looks like. And then from there, we went to where did we go next? North, towards Bryce, right?
That was after we had our fiesta in Sedona getting me tested.
Oh yeah, I skipped that whole part. I forgot.
So
There's Horseshoe Bend. Yeah, originally we wanted to just go north there, and we end up having to add in stuff on the trip that we didn't plan on doing, but kind of worked out in your favor.
Yeah.
You got to see Sedona.
Yeah.
What did you think of Sedona?
Sedona was pretty.
Yeah.
Nothing like Horseshoe Bend though.
Yeah, kind of packed too.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It made me feel like I was in Toronto again, all over.
Yeah. And Sedona's pretty famous on Instagram. We're not gonna make you look it up, Austin. It took
Okay.
you long enough to find us Horseshoe Bend.
I know.
So,
I don't know how to
spare you.
Google, so you know.
yeah. So we ended up going. I guess we should backtrack and say on Saturday we ended up going to Sedona, getting you tested,
Yes.
and
which-
that was a process.
Yes, because our plan was to get me tested at 8 a.m. Saturday morning.
And why couldn't we do that?
Because I had to be tested 72 hours prior to the flight of my flight to Canada. So I have connecting flights to get home, so I don't go straight to Canada from Phoenix.
Hold that.
Oh, okay. So I don't go straight to Canada from Phoenix, so my testing has to be 72 hours prior to my flight that's from Detroit to Canada, which made us backtrack the time to pushing it back to like 11, 12 o'clock before I got tested.
Did you
Which
ever
was
get those
not
results
fun.
back, Sam?
Not yet.
No. Uh-oh.
So-
That's not good. That's not good.
We're still
Hopefully they
waiting
come in
on
tomorrow.
those.
They'll come in tomorrow.
Luckily, I don't fly out until midnight tomorrow,
So they better come in
and
tomorrow.
that brings me, yeah, and my flight brings me to Atlanta tomorrow, and then I'm in Atlanta at like 5 a.m. for an hour, and then from there I'll go to Detroit, and then
So,
to
yeah.
Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they better come in tomorrow then.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. 'cause-
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're staying with Rob, I guess.
Yeah. What did you find out too that kind of pissed you off?
What kind of pisses me off is the lovely Canada feels the need that they are gonna now stop having Canadians have to do the testing
Really? As
As
soon as you leave?
tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, really?
So
That's
the-
fucked up.
So it's debatable if she even needed to do that test, but
But
we're glad we did.
yeah, because like I still have information stating I still need to show a negative test.
Mhm.
So,
So
but yeah, and I
yeah,
think your
that's
mom, like,
interesting
sent you
though.
that or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. So that's interesting though. Like so if you don't get it back tomorrow, could you still fly home since they
I
don't
can
require it
still
no more?
fly because technically tomorrow I'm flying from Phoenix to
Well, yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I need it in order to fly from Detroit to Toronto.
Right. Okay. But
But I just rather have it.
like I said, even if you don't have it by then, though, could you still theoretically, go home since they don't require it no more?
Possibly.
Possibly. But I don't know if in America if you needed to fly from state to state.
No.
So
No.
I can still technically fly. I can still go from Phoenix to Atlanta to Detroit.
Yeah.
I just need it from Detroit to Toronto.
Right.
Yeah. So we're hoping for that. So anyone that's
Hopefully.
listening to the podcast, if you believe in a higher power, pray, if you believe in positive vibes, send them Sam's way. Because I really think she needs to get back. You got a lot of hockey to do.
Yeah, I have a lot to do. I go back to work straight when I get home, so I kind of need to get home.
Yeah. And now, after the whole fiasco on Saturday, we ended up going Horseshoe Bend.
Yep.
And then from there, we proceeded on to Bryce Canyon.
Yep.
Where we woke up this morning and went to Bryce and did a pretty incredible hike there.
Yeah, it was pretty insane.
Yeah. You got to see what hoodoos were and how many kilometers?
We did 6 kilometers for all those Canadians watching out there.
And it was like 4.8 miles or something like that for all of our American listeners. And it was pretty incredible. We got some really good pictures and videos. We might actually have to make a reel just for Bryce alone because that was the only problem we ran into was it's just too much stuff to see and do. And and we should talk about Allie at this point too and what she was wearing and
Allie and her doggles.
Yeah.
Where are they, Rob?
Shout out Rex Specs.
Where are they?
I can go grab them. That way you guys can see them.
As they give,
Alley, maybe it'll actually distract them. But anyway, as we're walking around the park,
you're super quiet now, Rob. It sounds like you're far away. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, Sam has the mic now. That's why.
Haha! I'm in control now.
Yeah, apparently it switched mics like when you put the headphones in, Sam.
Yeah, I'm in control.
Anyway, so
this is now.
So what was your overall
the Austin and
experience,
Sam show? Pardon?
So what was your overall experience about basically just coming to America and traveling?
Well, besides all the stupid rules that I have to go through to get here, once I actually got here and was able to experience everything out here, I needed it. I needed a vacation away. So it was really helpful to just kind of relax and just forget about work and stuff like that. So general, it was amazing, and all the views I got to see are it's nothing I'll see ever in Canada, no matter where you go. So overall, I'm glad I came out here.
Okay, Rob. So continue
talking about Rex Specs.
What?
I can hear you now, Rob.
You'll have to bring up Rex Specs because I can't find them. I thought they were in your bag.
I don't know, but he can hear you now.
It's because we fucking switched headphones.
Yeah, she has the microphone now.
He can hear you.
He can hear you.
Not you.
Yeah.
He can hear both.
I can hear both of you. She has the microphone.
Because I have the mic.
Yeah, she has the mic now. So, anyways, go ahead, Rob.
So you'll probably have to bring up Rex Specs, but because we don't know where they're at, because we've literally got
failure.
Threw stuff in the fridge. We got a bunch of shit to do tonight. She's got to make her top 3 for things to do in America.
Yep.
And one of them is grilling. Allie, climb. Come here. Climb. Lay down. And one of them was visit the Grand Canyon.
Yep.
One of them was go to
Walmart.
What happened at Walmart?
I spent $80 Canadian. $80 Canadian, which was $60 American.
64-ish.
Yeah, something like that. On Dunkaroos, mostly. And candy I can't get back home.
To say that this girl doesn't have a sugar fix is
What?
impossible. Like she constantly wanted candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or slushies.
Or slushies, which was our new thing too.
Yeah.
Where do we go a lot?
Sonic.
Have you ever had Sonic before?
No.
And what's the best thing on Sonic menu?
A blue raspberry slushie with nerds.
And how many times did you almost die this weekend just from nerds alone?
A lot.
There's a couple times I look over at Sam, she's like choking. And I'm like, oh my god, what is wrong with her? And she's like, fucking nerds.
There you go, Rob.
Okay, there's a picture of Allie rocking the rec specs, and that's actually at Horseshoe Bend.
Yeah.
Those of you who are listening on audio versus watching, right now is a picture from, I think it's from Save Our Six and from my page of me holding Allie and her wearing rec specs. So,
Yeah, and how many people asked you about him, Rob?
Everybody. It felt like everybody.
I swear to God, Austin, like, you know how, like, when you hike with me, people usually comment on, like, what Allie is, or, you know, they'll say she's a Vizsla, they know what she is. The rec specs was, like, a whole new dynamic. They were constantly like, cool dog, that's the coolest dog on this mountain. That's the coolest dog on this hike. She's incredible. This and that about the goggles. It's constantly goggles conversation.
Can I take a picture of her? Can I?
Yeah. I'm going to start... think especially once Sam's gone, I'm gonna just start using her to any cute girl that talks to me to get their
You already do that
Instagram
anyways.
or whatever.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I do, but everyone probably assumed that like Sam and I were together, so like it didn't help either of us because we're not together, we're friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it was cool because even though they look super badass, they actually serve a purpose. I met someone out here recently that was talking about he had a Vizsla that ended up developing early cataracts in his dog's eyes because Arizona has so much sun year round and you're at such high altitudes where I live. So like these things not only look badass and get her compliments and get a bunch of pictures, but they're actually protecting her eyes, which is important. So.
Okay. So let's go into another thing Sam tried for the first time when you guys arrived to Bryce Canyon at night.
Hot Pockets.
Tell the story about what happened with food that night.
Okay, so we arrived at the hotel in Bryce Canyon, and we were hungry, so we looked up food, but everything was
like
closed.
8 o'clock, 8:30 at night.
Like 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock by the time we got to the room. And like everything was closed, so we had like no options for food except for this general store that they had at the hotel. And I had Hot Pockets for the first time. We don't have Hot Pockets.
Explain what they are, though.
Okay, Hot Pockets in Canada are pizza pops.
Pizza pops.
Pizza pops.
Pops. It sounds like puck.
Pizza pops.
Almost the way you enunciate it, it sounds like puck.
Well, yeah, because
it's Canadian. But yeah, Sam was blown away. I was like, tell your mom I took you out to this really fancy dinner at Bryce Canyon. And it was pizza pocket. Oh, wait, now you got me saying it wrong. Hot Pockets and chips.
Hot Pockets and chips.
Yep.
And Trulies.
Yes. You fell in love with Trulies.
I did.
You even sent like some snaps and stuff to the Swedes and to Sam, I think. And
I'm drinking Trulies.
Yeah, no one knew what it was.
No.
Because it's a seltzer that they can't get up there, apparently.
They were very disappointed that they cannot get it up there.
Yep. Which also led... Go ahead.
Do you like those better than White Claws?
I don't like White Claws. I usually drink Cottage Springs back home.
We don't have that.
Or like Bacardi Lime and lemonade.
We have that.
Yeah, couldn't find it though.
No.
Yep, it was rare area. So what ended up happening that evening? I got stuck on something that like needed to happen, and it took like an hour or so to happen. Last night. Pictures.
Oh. Like what? So we arrived. We finished eating and drinking, and then we got in the car and we started driving to Bryce Canyon
at night.
National Park at night. Pitch dark, can't see a thing. We're going to see get night shots of the places in the canyon, and we're driving. And Rob's like, it's not too far into the canyon. Like, maybe like a couple miles. Like, that's about it. A couple miles past, and I'm like, okay, like, what's going on? We're not there yet.
Where's he taking me?
Yeah.
Why is he so determined?
Yeah. And then we pulled
He's
off to
taking to
one
murder
spot.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, back in my head, I was like, this girl probably thinks I'm taking her somewhere to kill her. Like, this is so bad. And I'm like, it's just a little bit further.
Yeah.
And I got stuck in like that whole guy mentality. You know how like when you're a dude and you're working on something and it's not working, you just like deliberately keep doing it over and over again, thinking like you're gonna get a different result.
Yeah, because most guys don't read the instructions, so like you just keep trying and trying and trying.
So like I was, yeah. So like in the back of my head, I was like, Sam probably thinks I'm crazy right now because like we have been going at this for a while. It's been like 30, 40 minutes. We haven't seen shit. And then like we're pulling off the things, and then I tell her about like mountain lions and shit out here. And it's really cold. How cold was it in Canada?
It was like
comparison, like Celsius wise.
2 degrees Celsius in Canada.
And it was like low 30s for us Americans. And you were cold. You weren't really having it. And I was just like, stay in the car. I'm gonna go out. And I just walked off.
Yeah.
So I left Canada Sam all by herself in the car. We have no cell phone service.
Good job, Rob.
So like we can't communicate with each other. I think I took Allie with me because I told you I was like.
Yeah, we went out to the first point, and I was like, there's nothing out here, Rob. Like, fuck this, pretty much. And so I went back to the car, and he kept Allie. And then he came back, and he was like, okay, there's nothing here really either. Like, I can't see anything. So we continued driving even further.
I could have went back. And at this point, like, I looked at my passenger, and I was like, do you give up? Or do you keep going? She probably thinks you're crazy. And then guy brain kicked in, and I was like, nope, we keep going.
So we continued driving even further into
pitch black.
Pitch black.
No one out there. Didn't see anyone.
Didn't see a soul.
Yep.
No cell service. So for all I know, I'm going to die. And then we finally get to the point where he was like, "This is what I was looking for," and I was like, "Okay, like." Why?
And it was Natural Bridge for anyone that's been to Bryce Canyon. It's an arch that's obviously naturally made, hence the name. And we were actually able to get some really good night
cool
shots
of that and then the stars. But after I took a single shot of this arch, I was like, okay, I'm done. And I went back to the car. So it was cold. And I was just going to take pictures of the stars from, like, I took a picture outside and then I just sat in the car. And I took pictures outside the window while Rob was trying to still get pictures and only seemed to get one. And then he's like, why don't you just stand outside the sunroof? So all it took was me to stand outside the sunroof and take pictures of the stars to get the pictures we needed. Yep. And I kept warm and still got them.
And I was cold because I gave you my jacket. Yeah. And also I was determined.
Yes.
And part of the reason why I think my photos weren't coming out, I didn't want to tell you this last night because I didn't want to sound like a bitch, but I was cold and I was shaking, so I couldn't hold the camera steady.
But I was cold and mine still came out.
You were in a heated car. Like, get the fuck out of here. You were in it.
Before, when I took pictures of that arch, mine still came out perfect.
I mean, okay. We decided you were the photographer for the trip.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the night story. We did get some good photos.
We did.
And yeah.
And I didn't die.
She didn't die. We're still trying to get her back. Trying to think what else. You experimented with going towards the edge, which scared everyone.
Yeah, I made sure that I got videos of me going very close to the edge that if I slipped, I would have died.
And then she decided to, hey, I'm going to text my grandma this.
Yeah, I texted my grandma a picture of me sitting on the edge and said, or standing on the edge being like, one slip and I'm dead.
How'd she feel about that?
I also sent that to my GM saying, one slip and I'm dead.
I'm pretty
and
sure
my mom.
Yeah. All the people that like love you and care about you the most, you're just messing with them.
Look it, guys. And I just told my mom, I was like, Mom, you gotta live on the edge sometimes. You know, sometimes, and if you fall, you fall.
What are we gonna do with you, Sam?
Let me fall?
No. and I kept saying throughout the weekend, like, there was a couple places that we went that were isolated, and in the back of my head, I kept thinking, if Sam fucking falls down there, she's gonna die, which is terrible. Two, people are gonna think that like maybe I murdered Sam and like pushed her in. But then there was a couple places where we went that were super public and there was a lot of people. So at that point, I turned to you and said, "You know what? If you fall here, at least people won't think that I pushed you. I have witnesses."
Yep.
And then you brought up your photographer. We should shout out your photographer and tell everyone what you told me about your whole waiver thing.
My photographer, friend the man, I haven't seen him in a while, but he also dislikes me getting very close to edges and stuff like that. But I like to see how far I can push him, like hanging offside of a train track. Because, like, why not? You gotta do it for the photo. He doesn't like that. So, Rob also said that he's gonna make me sign a waiver too, stating
If she comes
that
back.
if anything was to happen to me, it's on my own terms.
Yep, and we're sending a copy to your mom because I have tried my hardest to keep her safe this entire trip.
Yeah.
And you have pushed that limit a couple times where it was concerning.
See how very close I can get, and if you fall, you fall.
One of these times, Sam, you're just gonna go too far.
You only live once, though. Like.
Yeah.
Until you
if
don't.
I'm meant to die at 20, I'm meant to die at 20.
So what else? What else do you got in show notes?
I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, we got everything on here. So another thing, the only other thing I wanted to add was, what were your thoughts on the Dunkaroos, Sam?
Dunkaroos. So, Dunkaroos used to be like a childhood snack of mine when I was wee little one. And then they became discontinued in Canada, like whatsoever. Like you cannot get them. But you can get them now if you want to spend $10 on one pack. So, coming down to America, I had to make sure I got some and brought some home. But I opened up a pack the other night and was very disappointed.
Why?
Because they changed the cookies. So they are these soft, like sugar-like cookies. So when you try to put them in the icing, you can't scoop the icing out because the cookie just crumbles in your hand. But like the icing still tastes good, so it's still worth it, kind of.
Yeah. Relax, Allie. So yeah, she got a bunch of Dunkaroos, but they still tasted good.
They still taste very good. I'm just disappointed that they've changed the cookies
and that was a fiasco.
Yes.
Because
that was a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah, because they said that they had them.
Yep.
But they had the yogurt ones,
and
which we didn't
want. Who
want.
wants yogurt Dunkaroos?
Because like you can't bring them back on your flight; they would go bad. And they also had chocolate, and you wanted vanilla.
Yes, I will only eat vanilla Dunkaroos.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So what was your
summary?
What was your favorite thing, Sam?
My favorite thing?
Yeah, about the past weekend. Okay.
The hike.
The hike. Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who go to Bryce Canyon or the hike that we're referencing, it's all part of something garden.
Queen's Garden.
Queen's Garden, correct. Queen's Garden was the loop that we did, and we touched parts of Wall Street and I think it's like Navajo or Navajo, something like
Navajo.
that. Loop. Yeah, and it was incredible. We have so many freaking photos and pictures and videos to work with.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. And with that being said, why don't you at yourself too? We forgot to do that at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, my Instagram is at BottlePoppinButte on Instagram.
Yep. And you recently broke 2K and you celebrated it.
Yes, I did recently just break 2K on Instagram and just celebrated with a giveaway that I announced the winner on Friday while I was here in Arizona.
So this is
company's.
So this is the area you guys did. It's a photo
that's
from
Bryce
the area.
Canyon.
Yeah.
Yes, the photo from the loop you guys did.
Correct.
So
yeah, it's
for everybody.
It's incredible, and pictures do zero justice.
Pictures do not do any justice to anywhere in Arizona.
Because like you've been following all my stuff, and
Yeah.
like I do a decent job of
Yeah.
recording things on my personal page or for SOS, but
it does not do justice on what you actually see in person.
so if you want a tour guide and you're friends with Sam and you're at least cool, you're more than welcome to come out and I can guide you around or at least point you in the right direction.
Yeah, just don't fall off the cliff.
Yep.
Just don't be
how
like
we'll
Sam and push
say
your
it.
luck.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple more shout outs we might have forgot. We got to shout out Puck Support.
So Puck Support, they're behind, like, for them it's pretty much mental health and addiction, and it's a big thing. Not only like with me working in the hockey world, I see a lot of mental health like affecting players in a way, so they've brought him upon to also help out my hockey team as well. So it's kind of nice to not only support him but see him support my team too.
Yeah, and
then
the
shout
other
out
people are your moms, both
my
your moms.
mom and my brother, and the other Sam. I have a second Sam in my life. She's my best friend, and she's pretty much the reason why I'm here today.
Yeah.
And then how are your allergies, Sam?
Don't even start about the allergies. Something that's supposed to let me breathe doesn't let me breathe. So
she's allergic to everything.
Yeah.
Trees and air, apparently, especially in Arizona. She's like sneezing the entire like drive today.
Yeah.
And a lot on the hike.
Yep. Really?
Yep.
Allie's tired.
Allie's tired of it too. Yeah, so and the only other thing was I thought it was cool that that your brother was keeping in touch with us on Snapchat.
Yeah,
and, like,
my brother kept Snapchatting us, being like, "How's your trip going?" And I would always send him pictures, being like, "This is where I'm at now," and he's like, "You're just touring all of USA right now," and I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much."
And the nerds, and he was making comments on all the candy.
Comments of all the candy I bought, and the fact that I was drinking nerd slushies 3 times in 2 days.
Yeah.
And said that I was a child, but like everyone has their kid inside of them.
Yep.
My mom was doing the same. She contacted me every day, and
She screenshot like every snap that you sent her
on Snap, and she's telling me how proud she is of me and being able to travel the world at such a young age, where she was not able to do that. So
yeah. It's been a good trip. And we
Yes.
still have just a little bit left, and then send you back.
Send me back to the good old north.
You got anything else for us, Austin, besides the ATI?
I mean, that's all we got on the list, man.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
why don't you explain what ATI is and then get into our questions?
That's fine. So but the only other thing I wanted to cover is something that we talked about on your original drive back to the Grand Canyon. Was we kind of covered it. We looked up the top 5 American things to do, and you were, I guess you already
in
top
Canadian
things to do.
Yeah, we can list maybe the top 5 for each.
Yeah, I just did the top 5. That way it was not like a huge long list.
Yep.
So yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, so you visited the Grand Canyon. That was number 1.
Yep.
You know, you went to Walmart. You got your Dunkaroos.
I did.
You tonight, I guess you guys are gonna grill meat, right?
Yep. We're gonna grill some meat.
Okay. And then number 4 was go to Washington, D.C. And then number 5 was shoot guns. Right.
Allie.
And then the top 5 Canadian things to do was make and eat maple syrup.
Yes, which is really fun to do, but it's also very cold. What we like to do when you make maple syrup, afterwards you lay it on snow and you roll it up like a lollipop because it freezes, and then you have a maple syrup lollipop.
Interesting. Canadians. Okay. Number 2 is play ice hockey, which you already do.
I do that every day.
Yeah.
I live it. That's my dream.
So, number 3 was go hiking, which you do. Number 4 was try curling.
Well, these are for a foreigner to do. Yeah. So like I should be checking them off.
Yeah.
So I do play ice hockey.
You have not made maple syrup.
I haven't done the number one thing, but you hadn't been to the Grand Canyon
That's
until
true.
this weekend.
So
So like, I
eventually
need to.
You'll make maple syrup.
Yeah, I'll have to come up visit you and your family and friends, and you guys will
Make a Canadian
show me the
lollipop.
way. Eh?
Yeah, eh?
All right. What's number 3?
Go hiking. Which is
That's what I
just as
do
easy.
every day, pretty much.
Number 4 is try curling. No, I mean,
Have not. I've seen
It's
it,
pretty fun.
and we'll have to do that.
Especially if you do it when you're drunk, then you're like,
and then number 5 was eat a Canadian dessert.
which is a beaver tail. Number
Yep.
1 Canadian dessert is a beaver tail.
Never had one.
Which is what,
So
Sam?
a beaver tail, for those Americans that don't know what it is like a...
They kill the small furry animal. They chop its tail off.
Yeah.
PETA doesn't get involved because Canadians are allowed to kill any animal they want. No, all right.
No, so it's like a deep fried dough kind of thing that is in shape of a beaver tail, and then you can get different toppings on them. But like the original beaver tail is that with cinnamon and sugar put on it. But you can get anything from like Nutella to maple like icing with chocolate, and yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty. I have yet to. My Swedes will eventually try them. They have not tried them yet either, but I will eventually get them to try them.
Okay.
You know, it sounds like Austin for us. Funnel
Veneer?
cake.
So we have
Or
funnel
elf
cakes
veneer?
too, but it's different. So funnel cake is like a cake batter kind of thing, and it's like really doughy. Where like
Yeah.
beaver tail's like a small, like thin dough. It's kind of like a deep fried crepe almost kind of thing,
Okay.
but not really.
Okay.
Interesting.
She knows what it is at least. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, we're just on to ATI now. So I got like 2 fucked up ones.
Save those ones for the end. That way, when we get
This
to the
is the
fucked
end.
up ones, if our parents want to tune out, they can. They have
Well,
an
I-
opt-out
I have
option.
3 questions. I only got 3 for this time.
Oh God.
You
So
suck.
so one is good, and then the rest. All right. Just for those who don't know what ATI is, you want to explain it, Austin?
Yeah, so these are questions from Barstool Sports. They're fucked up questions that we get that parents may or may not want to listen to.
I usually
yeah.
tell my parents to stop listening at this
Yeah.
point.
So if mom, you're listening, tune out now.
Yep. Tune out now. It was really good. Thanks for joining the podcast. We love you. Goodbye.
Love you from Arizona. I'll see you on Tuesday.
So,
All right, get into the ATI.
the
Everyone
first
had their
question-
warnings.
The first question I added on here just for Sam. It's would you rather have every guy last 30 seconds or 2 hours?
2 hours.
Okay, what about you,
Wait,
Rob?
so I don't get to answer that?
No, yeah, you do.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Would you
2
rather
hours,
last 30
100%.
seconds or 2 hours, Rob?
Oh, I thought we were talking about guys with me. No,
I
just-
mean,
No,
I
guys,
mean-
just leave me.
I'd rather last 2 hours.
Yeah, because
than,
if you're lasting 30 seconds,
that's
look, I would like think about myself. Like, am I really that unattractive?
no, that usually means
Really?
that like
I
that
don't
means
think
you
that-
no,
means
it
just too
does.
attract-
Like
no.
Means
That's
like
like a
too
good thing.
attractive, but then like I feel like, what the
No,
fuck
that's a
is
good
my
thing.
point? I just wasted 30 seconds of my life that I could have done
So,
something else.
and most guys who are listening
God.
understand this. And there's been times when I was younger that like it
That
was
you
very
lasted 30
fast.
seconds?
Not 30 seconds, like maybe 45 seconds. But like it's usually because you are so enamored with the woman that like it's just like you can't control
Yeah.
yourself. God, I hope my parents aren't listening. But like I mean, I know it can probably be insulting towards the girl, obviously, but I'm telling you, it's not because they're not attracted. Because if they weren't attracted, they wouldn't be able to have sex. Think
That's
about
true. Yeah, that's true. But like a girl could see it as, okay, they just want to get this done and over real quick.
Now, if this is your boyfriend, like you've been with this person for a long time and he's like going in 30 seconds, that's when it's concerning.
Yeah.
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 So
Okay, what
Rob,
about you, Austin? How long do you want guys to last on you, inside of you?
2 hours all the way. I want 2 hours of hardcore.
Okay. Next question.
The next one is, would you rather have your significant other be able to read your thoughts during sex or all the time except during sex?
I'm not going first. Austin, you go first.
Yep, you're the one
I
that's
read the
only
question.
the
That's
one
not
in
how
the
this works.
relationship.
You go first, Austin.
That's not how this works. I read the question. You go first.
Nope. We defaulted it back.
Yeah, sorry,
Two
two
versus-
against one.
two
You go
against
first.
one. I'll go during sex is fine.
During sex. Okay. I
What about
think
you,
as
Rob?
well during sex because maybe I'll just last 30 seconds. That way I could just be done quick and then she won't like know all my thoughts because the mind can wander even
When you
during
think
sex.
about
The
during
mind
sex,
definitely
Rob?
wanders more outside of sex. So I'm going with during sex.
I'm going opposite of both of you.
What?
All the time?
I'd rather them
Except
go
for
all
sex?
the time. This is my thing though,
What?
okay? All the time because my mind is going a mile a minute 24/7.
So
And
it
not a
drives
lot
them
of people
crazy.
understand that it goes a mile a minute. So like if my significant other is being able to read my thoughts going a mile a minute, then maybe he'll understand that my
Yeah,
brain
no.
is going a mile a minute and I don't need his attitude.
I think she picked the wrong answer. But,
I think I
to each
picked the
their own.
right. He doesn't need to read my mind during sex. If he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but like, what if you're like walking onto the hockey bench and you're like, oh yeah, I hooked up with that guy. Oh yeah, I hooked
Yeah,
up with him.
no.
God, I would love to see his dick.
But
Like, what if that's not like things that go through your head when you're?
No!
Oh,
When I
wait,
walk
I-
on the
Keep
bench,
yours,
when
Rob.
I walk
Keep
on the
yours.
bench, the things that go through my head are like, please don't get hurt. God damn it, I don't want to do anything today. Give me an easy day. Like, okay, I'll take this as an example. The day before I leave to come to Arizona, my lovely Swedish players felt the need to give me the hardest day of practice that they could ever do because I had to take one of my players to the hospital for stitches in the face by a puck.
Yep.
So I can't just have an easy day. I have to have a full-on
Hospital visit.
hospital visit during a practice. So that's why I'd rather them be able to read my mind all the time than just during
Yeah.
sex.
She doesn't
They
think
wouldn't
about the things
know
you do, Rob.
the stress I go through.
Yeah, girls' brains are a lot different.
Yeah, you guys go right to like anything to do with sex, where my brain
We're
goes.
guys. What do you expect?
Well, I mean,
"Please
like
don't
literally
just do it."
in relationships, like I see someone walk by, I'm like, wow, she's really hot.
Yeah, see, no.
That's
That-
also
that
just
doesn't
Rob
happen.
in general,
Yeah. No, I think that's just guys in general, though.
I think it's guys in general.
especially Rob.
Yeah.
Because I know married men that
I
still
know a
like,
lot of
I would
married
never,
men
Rob.
that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know a lot of married people that are like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd rather it be all the time than just during sex.
okay,
Okay.
interesting.
Last
Awesome. What's
one.
the final question?
It's kind of fucked up. You ready?
Yeah, 47 minutes.
Would you rather have everyone think you murdered somebody, or you had sex with your siblings?
Oh my god, this is so fucked up.
This is
I have a
so
brother,
fucked up. I have a brother.
but it makes more sense with a guy and a.
Sisters.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Wait, think that you murdered someone? Did you actually murder them?
And that's up to you.
If people find out, like if police officers find out that people think I murdered someone, do I go to jail?
Well, no, just everybody thinks you're a murderer.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
100% going with everyone thinking I'm a murderer. Because I think people already think that. That's why, yeah.
That's why we're getting her to leave sooner.
Yeah.
That's why
Austin, if I don't,
dressed up as a
if I don't,
prisoner for Halloween because people were waiting for the day I got arrested.
convict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin, I'll check in with you later. Normal life stuff. She got everything she needed out of the trip so far.
Yeah, and say, I know they thought they thought you were gonna push Sam to the Grand Canyon. She might push you into the Grand Canyon.
This is possible.
She's gonna take Allie and just go back to
You gotta
Canada.
come home with me, okay?
She does like Allie, and Allie seems to like her.
Yeah.
What about you, Austin?
I'm definitely going murdered somebody. That's easy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Rob's
I
like,
agree.
Rob's like, I'm picking the other one.
No, I'm not having sex with
I'm
my
taking a
brother.
fight with my brother.
No. I'm gonna go with the murder. So.
Rob's thinking about it.
No, I'm not thinking about
Okay. Well, Rob, since your face is half cut off, do you wanna close
close
this
us
out
out.
then?
Yeah, absolutely. And Sam, stick around so we can take a photo.
Yes, of course.
Don't go nowhere,
We
Sam.
normally have to tell our guests that because otherwise they've hung up on us like in the middle of the call.
Wait
But
until we screenshot and then you can push them to the Grand Canyon.
actually, I don't want to close this out yet because I
Nope,
want to do
hang it up,
something
bye.
that I had a surprise for. So the other day you were talking about like what was the coin thing.
Oh, after listening to the podcast.
Yeah. So if you listen to our previous episode, the gentleman that we had on, John, aka the Blue Dragon, he went out and created Fight Like Hell. I don't know if they're gonna work.
It's not. There you
Is
go.
that a good angle?
Yep.
Coins. And for those of you who don't know what coins are, basically they're military tokens, or you see them a lot in law enforcement, firefighting, but mainly in the military. They're coins that you give out to, like, that might be representations of a unit that you're a part of, and or a thing that you back. And his idea was we needed to come up with Fight Like Hell coins because we should potentially give them out to guests or people that are important to us. So from John, Austin, and I, we wanted to make sure you were the first guest to ever get a Fight Like Hell coin.
Well, thank you.
Hopefully it doesn't get confiscated.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
I was thinking that as I handed it to you.
Travel with this.
It probably should go in your check luggage.
There's no reason it should, though.
Have you met the Canadians?
Have you met Canada?
True. Yeah, just put it in your check luggage.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it in my check luggage with everything else that's in my check luggage.
Yeah. So there you go. That was the surprise I told you about. That I said, do you want to be surprised or you want to know something? So.
Yeah, I was gonna be surprised.
Cool. Well, with that being said, I can close us out now. So we can get to grilling and fires and shit like that.
Yeah.
And pushing around the Grand Canyon.
Thank you.
No, it's pitch dark.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone that joined us, especially if you're a new listener that maybe is one of Sam's friends. Please subscribe, follow, like. We have a YouTube channel. We're on every single streaming platform for audio if you prefer the audio version. We're heard, I think, in like 9 or 10 countries right now. And we appreciate any feedback as long as it's positive and 5 stars on iTunes. So please write us a comment. And yeah, thank you for joining us again. Sam, thanks for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And Austin, you got anything else you want to say before we close it out?
Nope, I think we're good, man.
Okay. Well, this was the Fight Like Hell podcast, episode 39. Dominic Koshik, one of my favorite goalies in the world, number 39. That's why I remembered it. Anyway, Sam has no idea who I'm talking about. All right, cool. Anyone who's a true hockey fan knows who Dominic Koshik is.
No! Shots fired.
You know who Martin Brodeur is?
Yes.
He played during the time as like Dominic Koshik.
You just thought I didn't know who you were talking about.
Oh, you do know who I'm
Yeah,
talking
I was just confused why you were bringing it up.
Number 39.
Shots
Episode 39.
fired.
I have ADD.
Like, yeah, I know who it is. I was just confused why you
Jeez,
were
Rob.
bringing him up.
Like, why is he fucking bringing this up? Like, he said he was going to end the podcast. All right, we love you guys. Peace.